Good morning. I wanted to reach out quickly. I don't know if you saw my video from several days ago, but if you did, you know that I was going through a really hard time. I was having some serious trauma reactions and I wasn't sleeping. I was having terrible flashbacks. I was an anxious ball of fight or flighty nerves. It was terrible. And I did have it was a stressful month, and I had probably, I don't know, several days to a week where it was really intense, and I almost felt like I was almost back there where I was just a few years ago, in that constant fight or flight state, kind of trapped back in the past because that trauma is so deep in there and it gets stuck in there inside of us. And then when normal life stressors happen, it reminds our bodies of the trauma that happened whenever, way back when, in my case, way back when. And it's absolutely incredible that it has that kind of power over us, but that just shows us the power of the mind-body connection is so incredibly strong. I was having hypertensive crises again, tachycardia. My heart was getting up to like 200 beats per minute at rest. It was absolutely incredible. Terrible headaches, and not meaning for this to be self-pitying as always. What I want you to know is that, let's see, every moment I had to talk to myself and remind myself that I'm safe. And even though my body didn't believe it, somewhere deep down inside of me, I knew that I would get out of this because I always did in the past. I knew that I would come up out of it. I've never been let down before. You just have to believe. You have to believe you're okay no matter what. And it really doesn't feel like it at the time, but I think it's so important for us to remember also to not feel ashamed of how we feel. I think what happens to us trauma survivors and lots of people is we perpetuate the cycle because of shame. Oftentimes toxic shame that was passed down through the generations, like in my case, and so many of us. And when I was in it like that, I felt so small. I felt worthless and ridiculous. I couldn't believe that this was happening with everything that my in-laws are going through, having just lost their beloved father and husband and friend and uncle and grandpa. So here I am in my own little world trying so hard to like hang on and be strong for them. And it just, you feel so weak and you feel pathetic. And I understand those of you who are going through this right now or have been through it or will go through it in the future. Excuse me. I just want you to know it's okay to feel like that. It's okay to feel however you need to feel. My mind was like 1 second bouncing from like, you're strong, you're so strong, you made it through this before, you can make it through this again, but then it was like, I'm so weak, I can't believe this is happening again, I can't, and it just perpetuates this terrible cycle. It's not going to help pull you out of it. The good news is that I've been through this so many times before, I knew that I would come up out of it. I just was so blindsided. I didn't know that it could ever be that bad again, but it was quick, it was fleeting, it was several days. I only had like 3 nights of really bad flashbacks, and sometimes that release with the flashbacks is necessary, and that's why your body is doing it. That's why your body's telling you, you need this release. You got to get it out of you. So unpleasant, incredibly scary and unpleasant. But if that's happening, I'm so sorry about this. Hold on. And I don't edit videos, so my apologies. It's just morning stuff. Real talk. So I don't know where I was. It felt like I would be trapped in there forever. And I think a lot of you know what I'm talking about. It feels like it's never going to end, and you feel just so pathetic. And then you have people telling you, it's like you try to hide it. In my case, I ended up being pretty public about it. But when you try to hide it, when it's happening, and then you confide in somebody, well, first of all, you feel really sensitive. And people, families and loved ones and friends of trauma survivors, hear me now. This is important. Do not, don't tell your loved one who's going through this that people are going through worse stuff. Nobody that I love did that to me. It didn't happen, but it happens all the time. Because we know, we already feel guilty enough. And that's the thing, when we're stuck in that, especially if the trauma's from childhood, you feel like a child all over again, and you're trying to claw your way back up out of that, but you feel small and worthless and pathetic. You're right back where you were with, when you were being traumatized, and you felt weak and small and helpless, and all those things. And there's just this guilt shame cycle. It's just so important for people to understand. You got to just be there for the person. If they want you there, just be there. Just be there for them. Don't question them. Don't judge them. Try to help them, but only if you know what you're doing. And just reassure them that it's okay that they feel that way. That's the thing that we need to hear most when we're in it like that, is that it's okay. It's okay to feel this way. It's gonna pass. You're gonna be okay. It feels terrible now, but I promise you're going to be okay. I was telling myself that over and over and over again, and it was really hard to believe, but I knew deep down, because I've been here before and I always pull up out of it. Just amazing how this was days ago, and I feel I finally got a good night's sleep last night for the first time in weeks. And I feel so much stronger today. I feel like I'm coming right up out of it now, and I'm gonna be okay. And the thing is that I have had a couple family members, loved ones say, like, you know, oh, I pray this doesn't happen. This doesn't happen again. And, you know, there's going to be stress in life. And that just makes you feel more guilty. First of all, of course it's going to happen again. You don't survive incredible, ridiculous trauma, you know, and finally heal it and just have it go away. That's just not the reality. And we don't need more shame or guilt for that. It's just the way it is. And believe me, I don't want to feel this way any more than you want to see me go through this, but it's just life. Don't need any shame for it. So just know that it's okay. It's okay to be like this. You're gonna be fine. I promise you, you're gonna be okay. So no shame, no guilt, but if you feel that way, that's okay. That'll pass too. And you are okay no matter what. You're gonna come up out of this. And please always message me on Meg Happens if you are really struggling and you need somebody there, because I might be able to provide you a little bit of support in that moment. I love you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. Remember, if you're struggling, just hang in there, because in an hour, a day, a week, you're gonna be absolutely fine, and it's gonna be a distant memory and like a bad dream that never actually happened. I love you.